When I heard about the Kia Carens Clavis, I was just as confused as you are, because this car is going to go on sale while the older Carens is still on sale. So what's it about? How is it different from the standard Kia Carens? That's exactly what we're going to address today. Welcome to Evo India and welcome to our review of the new Kia Carens Clavis. Before we go ahead though, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Evo India channel and leave a comment down below. Do you like the new face of the Kia Carens? The Kia Carens Clavis is an attempt at pushing the Carens more upmarket. Apparently, feedback for the last one was that it looked too MPV-like, and this is an attempt to address that. Now it's got a more SUV-inspired face. The bonnet is more upright, and the face has been completely changed. It looks like Kia's new design language, like stuff that we see on the EV9 and EV6. You've got new headlamps, you've got this new LED light bar up front, and you've got new bumpers down below as well. From the side, not too much has changed because this is more of an update and not a whole generational change. What you do get new are roof rails. Those are integrated into the bodywork. You also get that spoiler at the back and you get a new design for the 17-inch wheels. Updates to the rear include a new tail lamp and a new bumper, again keeping with Kia's new design language. You also get a Carens Clavis badge. This is different. Overall, the Carens gets a nip and a tuck. It's almost like a facelift in a way. It just keeps it looking a little more fresh, a little more modern. And like Kia says, they want to make it a little more SUV-like. Have they done that? Let me know your opinions in the comments below. It's also worth noting that it's 10 mm longer than before, but that's mostly because of the bumpers and it has nothing to do with the functional space on the inside. Step inside the Clavis and this is where the real updates are. You've got an entirely new upper half of the dashboard, which is really nice. First of all, new steering wheel. This is very similar to the Seltos. I know a lot of you don't like it for some reason, but I actually prefer it to the older Kia steering wheel. Then you've got new screens, two 12.3-inch screens. This one is really nice. It's a lot easier to read information on now and it's a lot more usable than before. This one, it's much bigger, so that's good, but you're still missing out on wireless Android Auto and CarPlay in 2025, which I think is odd. I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and put the Seltos' screen on here. In terms of other stuff that's new on the dash, you've got this. So this control panel is for your AC and it's got multiple modes. So you can control AC and media from this little multifunction panel. The materials on the dash used are really nice. Kia is really stepping the game up on this front. They did it on the Seltos and now they're doing it on the Carens Clavis. So this hard trim over here, it's hard plastic, but it actually feels very nice to touch. It's got a texture to it. And they've got this fabric-like finish on this part of the dash. Again, feels really nice to touch and really premium. I wonder how this will age. Will it pick up dirt and how will it be to clean? But as of now, very nice. Now the attempt with the Carens Clavis, like I said earlier, is to go more upmarket, and more upmarket means more features, and now you get the all-important panoramic sunroof. And that's not the only upgrade. You also get a dash cam, you get a 360-degree camera. This is a kind of long car. You get electronic parking brake and you get electrically adjustable driver's seat. These, in a nutshell, are the feature upgrades to the Kia Carens Clavis, and they build on what the Carens already got, like your wireless phone charger, your ventilated seats, your Bose audio system, and all of the other well-equipped stuff that the Carens already had. The second row of the Kia Carens has always been a nice space, and the Clavis, well, it's pretty much the same. I'm seated in the captain chairs, which means this is the 6-seater. You can also get a 7-seat variant with a bench in the center. The chairs themselves, they're mounted quite high up, which means I have good visibility over the driver, which, well, it makes it quite comfortable. Nice armrest, I can sit in a comfortable seating position, good under-thigh support, all of that's great. One grouse I have is that knee room is a little bit compromised because of this, the air purifier. It's quite a chunky unit and it eats into knee room over here. If you're sitting in this seat, so behind the front passenger, it's a lot more comfortable because you have a tray table, but it doesn't eat into as much knee room. Apart from that, flat floor, which is great for the sense of airiness in the cabin. You've got your fan speed control over here. And interestingly, the AC vents have moved from the roof to the side, to this pillar over here. And that's because of the panoramic sunroof over your head. Equipment in the back seat, you've got this sun blind, you've got USB Type-C ports, and something that's new for 2025 is this cooled can holder. So you can put a can of Coke in there and there's a little bit of ventilation to keep it cool. Neat touch. I asked Kia why there is no ventilation in the second row over here, especially since the Seltos now gets it. And they had a very interesting answer. Two reasons why there's no seat ventilation in the second row. Number one is that the seat back would have become fatter and that would have affected, well, comfort. It would have either affected space in the second row or in the third row. And the second reason is this, the one touch tumble feature. Very practical for ingress and egress, but again, difficult to engineer ventilated seats in with this. Now, let's head inside. The third row, well, get in here and you can see I haven't moved the second row since I sat in it last, and I've actually got knee room where I can fit in the back seat. Under thigh support is also a lot better than most 7-seaters because my knees aren't as upright. The seat is again raised from the floor and it's a very comfortable seating position by third row standards in this segment. You've also got some features at the rear. So you've got your AC vents up here, you've got a little bit of a reading light, you've got cup holders, and you've got USB Type-C ports, plus adjustable headrest, which is always great. Despite having 3 rows of seats, the Kia Carens Clavis has a fairly voluminous boot, 216 liters with all 3 rows up. You can easily fit 2 cabin bags in here without any stress. And if you need more, you can just flip these rows down, 1 and 2, and there you go. You've got a much larger boot which will fit, well, a fair few suitcases. So what's it like to drive the Kia Carens Clavis, or Carens Clavis as Kia would like you to call it? Well, let's talk engines first. You still get 3 engine options. You get the nat-asp 1.5, you get the diesel 1.5, and you get the turbo-petrol 1.5. I'm driving the turbo-petrol, and the turbo-petrol is an interesting one because you now get the option of a manual on the turbo-petrol, and it's actually the first Kia with the 1.5 turbo GDI engine to get a manual transmission. So that's pretty cool. Go enthusiasts, you know. The Carens is far from an enthusiastic car, but at least they're giving you an Enthu drivetrain, which is great. What I'm driving today is the DCT. You can also get it with the IMT, but the DCT is also really nice. It's such a nice, well-resolved gearbox, and it suits this engine's character so well. The engine outputs 158 bhp, 250 Nm of torque. Same as before, nothing has changed there. And in terms of performance, okay, it's gotten a little bit heavier, but there's no real perceptible change in performance. Floor this engine, and once the gearbox is downshifting, there's a little bit of lag, and then it just zooms on to the red line. It really likes to pull hard, it's torquey, it's got real grunt, and it's one of the nicest engines at this price point for sure. The DCT, snappy shifts, feels great to use. You've got paddle shifters. We were driving it up and around some hills today, and the paddle shifters always come to great use over there. You know, just set yourself up in the right gear before the corner so that when you get on the gas, you have the torque when you need it. But for a more practical use, the paddle shifters of course make sense while making overtakes. You know, you can just line up your overtake, get to the right gear, and as soon as the gap opens, fire it through, you know, and that's really nice on the highway. Now the ride and handling balance. Again, very little has been changed. This car is a little heavier than the Kia Carens because of the extra equipment that it has. The panoramic sunroof right on the roof, that itself is 30 kgs, and 30 kgs in the roof is not something you want. You know, you want your weight to be low down in a car, but that's what the market wants, and so you've got weight high up, you've got more weight, you know, a lot of extra equipment all over, and because of that they've had to retune the suspension a little bit. What they claim is that they've made it a little more comfortable than before, and I can attest that this is very comfortable. You know, the way it rides down the road is very competent. It's smooth, it's planted. Right now at high speeds on the highway, it feels very stable, very comfortable. There are slight dips and bumps in the road, and you do feel them a little bit. There is a little bit of vertical movement in the road, but it's not unnerving and it's not uncomfortable in any way. The way it rounds off bumps on bad patches of road is also very impressive. You know, it does a good job of just soaking up bumps, you know, bigger potholes, the secondary ride as you call it. It is very well judged, and it is suited towards comfort. Handling, well, the Kia Carens was never the most Enthu handler. You know, it's got a long wheelbase, it's got weight, it's got 7 seats, you're going to be carrying luggage, people. So I don't think handling thrills are something that people are buying the Carens for. But if you've got a family, a big family, and you're an enthusiast, the Kia Carens can keep up. Now, and you realize that softness that's dialed into the suspension does mean that it's not the most agile, most nimble, most cutthroat handler, but it'll hold its own, you know, in the corners. It's not going to catch you out, but it will still corner. It feels reasonably well judged and planted. You know, it's I would say average in terms of its handling. What more can you ask for from your people mover, honestly? And honestly, where the Carens really shines is that comfort. There's no taking away from it. So whether you're in the city, you know, bad roads, bumper to bumper traffic, speed breakers, all of that stuff, you can sit in the back seat and you'll be very comfortable. And when you're out on the highway as well, you know, in the back, you can lounge, really kick back, relax in the captain seats, and it just takes on our highways with absolute confidence. Another things that you get on the Carens now is ADAS, and this is a fairly comprehensive suite similar to what you get on other Hyundai Kia cars with both a front radar and a rear radar. So that activates a lot of features. You've got your adaptive cruise control, which I used a fair bit today, and it's quite nice on the highway, provided the highways are empty, because when there's traffic cutting in front of you and all, it just breaks a little bit. You've also got your lane keep assist, you've got blind spot monitors, you've got forward collision avoidance, plus you get the stuff that is activated by the rear radars, which is great for this price point. Stuff like the rear cross traffic alert and all of that. ADAS in a car, again, debatable whether it's useful or not. Out on the highway, definitely there is an argument that can be made for it. In the cities, in our chaotic conditions, you know, stuff like forward collision or warning and forward collision, avoidance assist, all of that stuff can get a little intrusive because our cities are by nature so chaotic. So if you're going to be doing a long distance driving, then yeah, for sure ADAS is useful, but otherwise it's a nice talking point, but not so useful. Overall, I come away from this feeling like, yes, there is an update, but there's not so much that's updated to the driving. The big talking points are, of course, all of the equipment and all of the features and all of the additional stuff that this car now gets. The positioning of the Kia Carens Clavis is going to be more premium compared to the older Carens. Now, the older Carens is still on sale, but that is only one variant. It's going to be the base plus one variant, which had the sound system in it. That's the only variant, and that's going to be targeted purely at a value conscious buyer. Then there's a whole suite of variants of the Kia Carens Clavis, and that's going to be targeted more at an image conscious buyer, somebody who needs the practicality of an MPV but wants to associate with the image of something a little more desirable, and that's what this is trying to do. They've done that by adding more features and by tweaking the styling, and that's obviously going to result in a price hike. How much? That is the big question. My guess is that this price is going to be on par now with the Seltos, or maybe even at a slight premium. The Carens, its big selling point was the fact that it was incredible value for money, and with all of this added in, the prices are going to go up. But the challenge for Kia is that they'll need to convince people that the price they're pricing it at is still going to be good value for what they're offering. Prices are going to be out in the month of May itself, so stay tuned for that. In the meanwhile, let us know in the comments, what do you think the price should be?